Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this video we are going to talk about something which is very important. And if you are already an app developer, then you must have heard about the life cycle. So if you are an Android developer, then you have heard about the activity life cycle or the fragment life cycle. And if you are an iOS developer, then you must have heard about the state changes for your view. So a similar thing we are going to talk about for Flutter. How can we handle that? Because this life cycle changes can be can be important for you while developing your application. So what is a life cycle exactly? So you must be thinking about that. So let me just explain you in case if you don't know. So similarly, if like we as a person have a life cycle in our entire life. Like first we born, and then we have our childhood, then we become young, then we become adult, and similarly the app, all the applications have some kind of life cycle. So let's talk about Android first of all. So for Android, this is, you can see the diagram from this developer.android.com. This is the activity life cycle where it has some stages for the activity, and it is different for fragments. So where we will not go in that much detail, but you can see when your activity launches, then it has to go through some steps. Like it goes through the on create method, then on start method, then on resume method, and then if you are active, then your activity is running. But when you navigate to any other application, then the on post method is called, and if you remove the activity from the stack, then on stop method is called, then on destroy if your app totally destroys. So this is how a life cycle works. Similarly, in if you see the life cycle for an iOS, then there is a state changes. So first of all, it is not running, then if it is in the foreground, then it is inactive, then it becomes active. So it is like paused and resumed, and the background also, it has a background and suspended. So you can see there are a lot of methods available here. Will finish launching with options, did finish launching with options. So you can read about that. You can go into more detail if you want to learn about it. There is everything written here in their respective websites, so you can check it out, what is inactive, what is active, what is background. And similarly for Android also, it is all written. But let's talk about now Flutter, how we can handle the life cycle changes, because we are not going to do it for Android and iOS separately. We will do it just once, because that is the advantage of Flutter. So here you can see we have a very simple app which is not doing anything, and I have also deleted all the code, the boilerplate code which comes with the default installation. So let's make an app which will have which will see all the life cycle changes. Okay, so let's say this is the my app. Let's make a stateful widget class, and we can say this my app. Okay, this is a normal thing which you have seen from many times. We will also talk about orientation changes, because if you see in the life cycle, this life cycle repeats, or you can say recreates itself when you change the orientation of your device, like from portrait to landscape. So we will also discuss that, how can we handle that. So let's get back to our code. So here we have a simple app which is not doing anything as of now. So let's return here a material app first of all, material app. Okay, and it will have a home as, let's say, new scaffold, and we can have a body here. Okay, and in the center, let's say we have a text. Okay, and let's say hello. Okay, so this is our very basic app. Let's run it for Android, so we will have a better understanding what we are going to do. And now we will, after running this application for the first time, we will see how to handle its life cycles. So it will take few seconds. And also if you are making a game or something, then then this orientation can also have a very impact on your application. So you want to change the orientation and handle something on that orientation, so orientation change. So that's also we will see, and let's give it a little bit font size, bigger font size, let's say 22. Okay, so we have this hello as of now. Now to capture the life cycle state changes, what you need to do, you have to go to this my app state class, where you are extending the state, and here you have to add a mix in, which is the widget binding observer. Okay, so after doing that, you need to add observer whenever your this class initializes. So we will call init state method, and after this super.init state we will say widget binding dot instance dot add observer, and we will pass this, which means the current one. And then we will also remove this observer when we will dispose our class. Okay, so we can say dispose, and before calling super.dispose we will widget binding dot instance dot remove observer should be there, yeah, and we will say this. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Now we have to handle the life cycle changes. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to override another method here, which is did change app life cycle state. So if you see here, this method gives us a state as a parameter, and we just need that. So let's just delete all this code, and here we can call the set state method, and here we can capture the life cycle state. So let's make a variable here, app life cycle state, and we can say app life cycle state, and let's make it a private one. Okay, now here in the set state change we will track that state and store that in our variable app life cycle state, and let's also print this to see when our state changes. Okay, so we can say life my app state. Okay, yeah, and here we can say app life cycle state. So this is what we will do, and our app crashed. So this is something which we need to do now. Here, rather than printing the text, let's print app lifecycle state dot toString. Okay, so that's it guys. Let's run this application and let's see what happens. So it will take some time. So this is very simple. If you see, we need to just capture the state. If you have the state, then you can do whatever you want to do, right? If you want to save some data when the user goes from your app to another app, then you can capture the post state. And so as of now you can see it has printed null. Let's see our debug console, where we will have some output as well, and here you can see we don't have anything as of now. So I'll just pause the activity by clicking on this this menu button in the bottom, and here it should do something. Yeah, so here you can see my app state is app lifecycle state dot post. So app lifecycle state dot post is the current state of my life cycle. Okay, so if I will go back to my application, which should be here, so if I'll click here, now you can see this one, it will be start from i/flutter, and now it is app cycle state dot resumed, and here also you can see it has printed app life cycle state dot resumed. Okay, so this is, let's just delete all of this. Okay, and now let's do one thing. Let's just close this. Okay, so let's just remove this from this stack if something happens, and actually it lost the connection to device, so that is why it does not print anything. So this is what we achieved. Now let's run it for iOS and see what changes it do. Okay, so it will take again few seconds to run this application in iOS. And okay, so basically this is what you need to understand, and once you will have the value of this state, you can do whatever you want to do. So for iOS, if you see, it is printing null. So let's go back to let's minimize this screen, and now you can see my app lifecycle.inactive has been called, and then the post one. This post is just to, you don't have to write inactive and post all together. So this post is common for Android as well as for iOS, I guess. So if you see here, then we have this on post here, but in Flutter we have just post. Okay, and here we have this inactive active. So let's just click on that example again, and now it is resumed, and you can see here my app state is inactive then resumed. Okay, so you have to track this paused and resumed event, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Like if you want to save some data when user switches from your app to another app, then you can save here in this did app change app lifecycle state method. Okay, now let's stop this and let's go back to our Android. Okay, sorry, let's go back to Android. Okay, so we have our Android now, and now let's see how we can perform something on when we change the orientation. So let's run this application once to see what kind of differences we see when we change the device orientation, if it is affecting something or not. Okay, so oh shit, we ran the application on iOS. I want it to run on Android as of now, so let's run it on Android first of all. Then the iOS and Android stuff would be kind of same, so you don't have to worry about that. So Flutter team is actually making sure that you don't have to write different code for different operating systems, so that is something very good. You don't have to. So here we have null. Let's switch to the home screen. Now let's go back, and we have this app lifecycle state.resumed. Now if I change the orientation, you can see nothing actually happened. It is working very fine. You have that same text which you were supposed to get, and that is exactly what we want. So if we talk about and you can see it is working properly, nothing no issue at all. So if you will do the same thing for in Android, then you will lose this text view. This text will be changed because the app cycle is recreated from on create method, and then you have to handle that by saving that instance into a bundle. So that is the stuff you need to do, but Flutter takes care for us for changing the orientation. But in case, let's say I want to change the text color when I change the orientation, then how can we do that, right? If you want to perform some changes with the app when user changes the orientation, like you can see that in portrait mode there is a less space, the width is small but the height is more, but in landscape mode if we see, then width is very big, or you can say very large, and the height is very less. So that then obviously we can have some changes depending on the you can say depending on the orientation. So let's see how we can do that. So here in the home you have seen this new scaffold, and then we have this in the body new center. We can wrap this with a new widget. You can go from anywhere where you want to change the orientation, and you can wrap it, or you can make a parent widget which is orientation builder. Okay, and let's just delete this code or cut this code as of now. And the orientation builder takes a builder which takes context and a orientation as a parameter. And now here you could write the same code by calling return new center and all. Okay, now you should have on this let's delete and this. Okay, so now let's say I want to change the color when the orientation changes, so I can say color, and I will use this orientation variable dot orientation equal to orientation dot portrait. So if it is equal to this, then what I can say, if it is portrait, then colors should be blue, let's say. Okay, otherwise the color should be red. Okay, so that is what I am doing. If you see again, if orientation is blue or the portrait, then color should be blue, otherwise should be red. So this is our orientation builder. Now you can see here on the right hand side that it already changes the text color to blue. If I will change the orientation, then you can see the color is now red. Let's change the orientation again, and now it is blue again. So this is how you can capture the orientation, what on which orientation the user is using the app, and you can do the necessary changes depending on that. So this is all about life cycles and orientation. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do like the video, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also start the repository, because I will upload this code to GitHub, which is already uploaded actually. So you can see the link will be in the description. So that's it guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care and peace.